What if the weight isn't just something you carry? What if it's something that's been doing a job? Not because you chose it, not because you're weak, but at some point it became useful. And before your mind jumps in to argue that, my weight isn't useful, stay with me. Because the body doesn't do anything without a reason. The body isn't random. It doesn't make mistakes. It doesn't hold on to weight out of spite. It organizes itself around survival first, long before comfort, confidence, or aesthetics even enter the picture. And once something proves useful to survival, the body does not let it go easily. Here's the truth most women have never been allowed to say out loud. Sometimes weight just doesn't protect you from pain. It protects you from exposure, from being seen, from being chosen, from being fully expected to show up. It doesn't mean that you want the weight. It means that at some point your nervous system decided, hey, this keeps me safe. The nervous system did not update themselves just because life changes. They update themselves when safety is felt, not explained. So even when the threat is gone, even when the season has changed, the body may still be living as if it hasn't. For some women, weight creates invisibility, and invisibility can feel safer than attention, especially if attention once came with pressure, judgment, or violation. If being seen once meant being criticized or objectified or expected to conform, then invisibility can feel like relief. For some women, weight lowers expectation. If your body is the problem, you don't have to risk being powerful, reading, or fully expressed. You don't have to risk failing after you try. You don't have to risk wanting more and not getting it. For some women, weight becomes a buffer against intimacy. Because intimacy brings closeness, desire, sexuality, being wanted. And not every nervous system learns that those things are safe. For some, closeness means loss of self, and others it meant obligation, and some it meant pain. So the body quietly creates distance, not consciously, but subconsciously and intelligently. For others, the weight quietly justifies isolation, saying no, staying at home, not trying, not risking rejection, because the body becomes the explanation. And when the body is the reason, you don't have to keep explaining yourself. You don't have to defend your boundaries. You don't have to say, I'm tired or I can't do that anymore. The body speaks for you. And for many women, the deepest layer of all, letting go of the weight would mean letting go of the version of themselves that learned how to survive. The woman who learned how to cope, to numb, to stay small, to stay quiet, to stay strong. And survival identities don't dissolve easily, even when they're no longer needed, because they once worked. So when you ask, why would my body let this weight go? The more honest question might be, what would I have to risk if it did? Because your body isn't holding on to weight because it hates you. It's holding the weight because something in you still believes it's necessary. Necessary for safety, for boundaries, for protection, for permission to exist without pressure. And until the nervous system believes that those things are available without the weight, it will not let it go. Not out of defiance, but out of loyalty. And listen carefully. This does not mean that you're doing anything wrong. It doesn't mean that you're broken. It doesn't mean that you're sabotaging yourself. It means that your body has been intelligent. It's adapted to the environment that it was given. It learned what worked, and it kept you functioning when things were too much. But intelligence that was built for survival can quietly block transformation, not because it's bad, but because it's outdated until it's seen, named, and gently released. Not forced, not shamed, not disciplined away, but released. So I want to leave you with three questions, three powerful questions to get to the root of what's really holding you back. Don't answer these too quickly. This isn't to judge yourself for, but to sit with and honestly answer them. Are you ready? Question one. If the weight were gone, what would I no longer be protected from? Is it attention, desire, expectations, visibility, being chosen? And what feelings come up when you imagine that exposure? Question two. What has this weight allowed me to avoid emotionally, socially, or in relationships? What would I have to face if that avoidance disappeared? What conversations? What risks? What versions of yourself? Question three, the deepest one. Who would I have to let go of if I no longer needed this body for safety? And am I ready to release that version of me, even if she once saved my life? Weight doesn't release when it's fought. It releases when the reasons no longer exist to hold it. That's not weight loss, that's self-recreation. And if you feel brave, truly brave, I'd love to know what's one thing this weight may have been protecting you from. You don't need to explain it perfectly, you don't need to justify it, just name it. Share it in the comments if you feel it's right, or send me a private message if you're ready to explore more.